To build a great business, you need great people. In this video, I'm gonna talk to you about hiring and retaining those people.
Look, insurance sucks. I just make it suck less.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Brad Hannon. You know, I created this channel for agents just like yourself to polish their skills, make more sales, and ultimately make more money in the insurance industry. And one of the ways that you can do that is obviously by recruiting and building a team, right? Recruiting, training, building, all of those things go hand in hand with building a great business, right? In another video that we just recently did, I talked about the difference between 1099 and W-2 opportunities in the insurance space. And in this video, I'm really talking to those that are on the 1099 side that are building a team. Now, here's what I want to say to you W-2 employees. You too are very valuable to the organization as an entrepreneur. There's two real ways you can look at this, right? An entrepreneur, somebody that's going out to start their own thing and, you know, taking on all the risk, taking on all the expense and all of that, you know, good stuff, right? And then you've got an entrepreneur, a much safer place to start, just as valuable. You are just as important to the organization and you can make just as much of an impact. You're just starting a little differently, right? So the entrepreneurs that are watching this can still take away points on, you know, how to successfully start to build a team and lead a team and manage a team and grow a team. But really, we're talking to, you know, maybe agency owners out there or team builders that are looking to recruit, train, and kind of build that ultimate sales team. One of the things that I'm going to tell you is first and foremost is ultimately imperative to your success in my experience, anyways, is that the fact that you have done it yourself, right? Don't be one of these people who have not yet had any great level of success or even a medium level of success in the insurance industry trying to build a team. If you can't do it, it's highly unlikely that you can train others to do it, right? You can't lead where you have not gone. And so I believe that you should first basically build a good income, build a good business before yourself, before you start to recruit and train others to do it, right? Teaching them something that you've done. So first and foremost, go out there, make six figures plus, you know, learn the industry, learn the ins and outs, understand everything, both internal and external. So internal would be things like contracting, different types of contracts, different contract levels, you know, how to pay commissions, renewals, all of that stuff. External would be things like what carriers to sell, what policies to sell, how to sell them, how to pitch them. So work on those things as you're, you know, growing your business as maybe a solopreneur or a solo producer first, and then you start to recruit and train. And so the number one thing, this is how I've done it. It doesn't have to be the way you do it, but the number one thing that I recommend is once you've done it, okay, because that is a prerequisite in my opinion, you now start to tell your story, okay? Step one, tell your story. Not just on the internet, not just on social media. You know, we recently did a video on maybe a couple of reasons why you shouldn't start producing content, and maybe it's not for you, and that's okay. This doesn't mean you have to get on the internet or on TV and start to tell your story. This means you're having dinner with friends casually. This means you're at a bar. This means you're, you know, talking to somebody you just met at the bus stop. This means, hopefully you're not at the bus stop though, right? There's a lot of different ways that you can tell your story. And a lot of times it looks like, great, what do you do? Right? So you're asking them first, they're sharing their story, okay? And then you're sharing your story. And yeah, you know what? I got in the insurance industry, was kind of, you know, on a whim. And, you know, luckily I did really well. I made six figures and, you know, multiplied that into $250,000 the following year, and then the $500,000 the year after that as I'm building a team. And, you know, that's where I am today, just trying to build a team of, you know, successful individuals. And ultimately we've got 5 agents that are all making six figures. So my goal is to get to 10. I need 5 more, whatever it is. Like, that's just a quick little story I made up that you're telling somebody that can help you reach that goal. So first and foremost, right? Tell your story, create a story, then to start to tell that story. Because facts tell, stories sell, right? You're gonna win over a lot more people by telling that story than you are just by posting an ad on Indeed for a position that's open, right? Secondly, once you've started to tell that story and started to bring people on board, I don't know, there's some terminology for this, but I would tap into their network, right? I would tap into their network. I would start to incentivize, however that may look, incentivize those that have come on your team that you have recruited. I would incentivize them to tap into their warm market. You know, recently we had one of the agents refer somebody that started with us, and publicly I applauded her basically through our Slack channel and said, hey, great job on this. Next week we're going to lunch, which reminds me, I owe her lunch. Next week we're gonna go to lunch and I owe you $50, which reminds me, I owe her $50. I better put that on the payroll report today. So again, this is how you can tap into their warm market, but also you create a culture, okay, a culture of growth, a culture of, hey, we're looking for people that fit our mold, we're looking for people that fit our culture, and now you've created kind of a funnel, a new funnel for that. So that's going to be the second step, or the second tip I would give you on hiring and retaining team members. And then lastly, just, there's a million different ways that you can do this, but lastly and most importantly, never stop growing yourself, right? Never stop learning, never stop networking, never stop going deeper into the industry and what you basically are calling your profession, right? You haven't mastered it yet. You're always learning and growing, and this is going to allow you opportunities where maybe somebody you talked to a while ago was kind of, I don't know, ahead of you in their circumstance, right? But you've spent so much time internally growing, learning. You've not made a bad name for yourself. You've really kind of focused on growing small and then scaling. As you're scaling, maybe there's an opportunity for people that once maybe were ahead of you to come and get behind you, or get alongside of you, better said, to help you grow your business, right? To partner with you because they've seen the growth, they've seen the steps that you've taken, and they're going to partner with you the same way. So never stop learning, never stop growing, but also it's a volume play. I will say you can have all of the tips and tricks and all of the great things, but you've got to be bringing in warm blood all the time. If you were a 1099 commission-based salesperson building a team, you've got to be bringing in fresh blood, right? It will grow stale. I've made that mistake. One thing that I used to say a lot was that, hey, listen, we're not that heavy recruiter type. We're not going to, just constantly be recruiting. We're looking for great people. Well, great people, okay, and I'm admitting a fault of mine. This is years ago that I felt this way, but great people are usually pushed along by other great people. So you can bring great people into your organization that will end up growing a little stale, or growing a little tired, or growing a little weary, and not necessarily hitting their maximum potential because you're not bringing in new people that are pushing them. And likewise to yourself, if you're not challenging yourself, right? If you're not bringing in people who are challenging yourself to grow and to grow and to grow and to learn, then you will not, you'll not be challenging yourself, right? So always got to be bringing in new, fresh talent, new, fresh blood in order to make sure that everyone in the organization is leveling up to the best of their ability.
I'm a health insurance hustler. Bradley Hannon's the name. I'm here to teach these agents how to play the game. I'm a health insurance hustler. One thing you should know about me, I'm a head